Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily live streaming live from Chicago, Illinois. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. Sorry about that. I had to drop my headphones there. It is 1:14 p.m. I think yesterday I said I was going to live stream a little later, but I forgot I have 2 live streams to do today for my autophagy group. So I was like, I'll try to sandwich a live stream in here. It's a very busy day for me. I do have a hard stop in a little over an hour because I have another coaching session and I have a lot of other work to finish on. So I want to make sure that I stay accountable. I share my stats. I talk to chat, see how everyone's doing, make sure that you're being accountable. Yes, this is an accountability live stream. What is an accountability live stream? It's pretty much where I show up for myself. I share with you all what I'm fasting or where my fasting status is, what my weight is at, how I'm feeling about it, what I ate yesterday on my refeed, how I'm feeling on my current fast, and what future plans look like. This is a place for me to share the good and the bad. This is also an opportunity for you to do the same. You could probably see it right now with people sharing everything in chat. This is a place to share the good and the bad. Yes, it's great when you're doing good for yourself. It's great when you are achieving amazing results. But this is also a place to share if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time. I want people to understand that your journey will never be perfect. Do not come here expecting perfection, because you're not going to find it. You could probably do things that might seem perfect for you, perfect to you for maybe a small period of time. But remember, life is going to throw a curveball. You are going to have bumps in the road, and there's nothing wrong with that. So before I continue on, Miss Peaceful One, Manla, Ian, Kevin, Elmadas, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. Who else is in here today? A lot of the regulars. Sid, welcome. Deja, Maggie, May, Babita, Willis, Tommy, peace to all. Happy Bunny, nice to see you. Cap Rising, Ashna, Adeline, welcome. Anyone else in here? E. Gunner, welcome. Margaret from Facebook, nice to see you. Edward, I haven't seen that name in a minute. Edward, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Tanya, hello. Loud, low, and slow, welcome. Kay Betters, how are you? Letty, nice to see you. Daniel asks here, curious what the longest extended fast you've done, 11 days or 12 days? I don't remember the exact day right now, but it's somewhere between 11 and 12 days. Kabir, welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining for the first time. Elle, nice to see you as well. Did I say hi, Tanya? But maybe I did. That's okay. Either way, there's a second hello. Tech Over Tech, Melly Mel, welcome. Nice to have everyone here. Appreciate everyone sharing their accountability. So we're going to break right into it. I don't have as much time today. It's a very busy day for me. So let's break into this right now. When I talk about accountability, it's not just for me. It's to also share how everyone else is doing. Miss Peaceful One says, happy, thankful Thursday, finally fasting fam. I'm thankful for this community. So am I. I'm currently fighting the urge to eat due to a big blow up with my son. I'm currently 65 hours fasted. I'm about to journal. Miss Peaceful One, I'm sorry to hear about that with your son. Hopefully things have gotten better. If not, I know that, and you know that, and we all know that it doesn't have to turn to food to cope, or it doesn't have to be the immediate answer to dealing with stress. So hopefully journaling, and I love that Miss Peaceful One brings that up, because that's another way to cope. it's another way, another opportunity to try something different. If you are somebody that struggles with food to emotionally cope, or because it's out of stress or comfort or boredom or what have you. Congrats on being 65 hours fasted. Hopefully the urge to eat or break early doesn't happen, but you also know that if it does, continue to give yourself grace. Thank you for sharing with us, Miss Peaceful One. Mandla says, hi all, currently 76 hours fasted. Mandla, congrats on the 76 hours, feeling good. I've loved this fasting challenge. I mean, y'all have to thank Miss Peaceful One for throwing this challenge out there. It's been peaceful and empowering. I love that for you. I'm learning that I'm so much more capable than I thought. I'll be over 90 hours fasted when I break tomorrow. And honestly, I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. And I'm sure many people are for you as well. Thank you for sharing, Mandla. Kevin says 84 hours into a 155-hour fast. Still putting the grind in, throwing the work in, Kevin. I need this live today, feeling alone. Well, I'm glad that you were able to make it. Talked with my hubby about my struggles today. He said the right words, but his body language was annoyed by my timing and tears, or at least that was the story my brain decided to tell me. I mean, either way, Kevin, I'm sure it's good to say what you need to say. I always believe this when it comes to feeling how you have to feel. Everyone should have space for that. And I'm glad that you were able to let that out, whether it was reciprocated the way that, you thought. I mean, that's another thing as well. Remember, you can only control what you can control. Hopefully it was received well. Hopefully, maybe that's another conversation to have. But thank you for sharing with us, Kevin. Congrats on being 84 hours in. Congrats on continuing to put the work in, to put in these 155-hour fasts over and over and over. It's an amazing feat. So thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing your struggle with us as well. I know it isn't easy for many of us. Ian says, I only managed 16 hours due to having a long work day. Ian, don't feel bad about doing 16 hours. You're still hitting a timer. You're still being accountable. You're still sharing. That's a huge win. I was down 0.2 pounds on the scale. Another win. Definitely doing at least 22 hours before my next meal tomorrow. Got my 10,000 steps in as well. Ian, still putting work in every day, making sure to do the things outside of just fasting to help him get to where he needs to be. Thank you for sharing with us, Ian. Almada says, accountability check. I ended my fast at 47 hours. No shame. Hopefully you don't feel bad about it. No embarrassment, no guilt. 47 hours is still a great feat. I couldn't prolong it further. There's nothing wrong with that. I consider it a success. It's definitely a success. As before, I could not fast at all. Of course, that's a huge success. You've built your fasting muscle. You're continuing to build on it. I had my refeed, restarted the fast. Now I'm 5 hours in. I love that for you. Please don't beat yourself up over it. I hope you aren't. Almada says, I noticed that my stress levels are up after I had eaten, and now I would like to have dinner. Hungry for sardines, specifically salmon. Almada, that's your call. Think about it, right? Put yourself in that space. And if you do break earlier, then you break. Maybe that's what ends up happening. But you're being accountable for it. You're being aware of your actions instead of completely throwing away the day. Congrats on the 47 hours, Almadas. Don't beat yourself up, especially if this is something that, like you said, you weren't able to fast at all. And here you are now sharing with us that you're 47 or you completed a 47-hour fast. Still a huge win, a huge win. Peace to all says, greetings, everyone, or greetings, fasting peeps. I'm 45 hours in on my fast. Congrats. Peace to all. Plan to break Thursday evening. Keep us posted. I'm sure you'll be super excited for that refeed tomorrow. Thank you for sharing. Peace to all. Sid again, pushing along. Day 17 of a 30-day fast. Congrats on an amazing long fast. Have some friends staying over for a music festival going on in the city. Going to be a weekend of saying no to drinks or food. I mean, that's just the name of the game, right? Just going to enjoy some EDM, Dance a little. There you go, Sid. Congrats on being 17 days in. Keep us posted tomorrow when you hit day 18. I love that for you. Love that for you. Sorry. Deja says, sad to say, I broke my fast last night. It's okay. Again, no shame, no guilt, no embarrassment. Deja, how long did you go? This was 7 days, right? You had a 7-day fast, or you had gone 6+ days. Still a huge win. I have 2 sick kids. I was so fatigued. I couldn't stay awake to take care of them. You have to take care of more than just yourself, right? And especially if you were fatigued and you weren't feeling it, this is when people sometimes ask me, Jerome, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling nauseous. I'm feeling whatever it is on my fast. My response to that almost always is, well, then it's time to break your fast. You refeed and then you go again. No shame, no guilt, no embarrassment. Deja, you've done so good for yourself. You put so much work in. Still working. Hold on. They need a fueled mom over a skinny mom. And you're absolutely right. You still have to function like a normal human being. So don't beat yourself up in that regard. It doesn't really sound like it. So I love that you know your body and you knew it was time to break, and you're doing it and you're being accountable and you're telling yourself, okay, I still have other things that I can do for myself outside of just fasting. Still working on my no spending for the 3-day challenge. I love that for you. Like I said, still doing other good things for yourself, and plan to continue fasting the rest of the week since I was able to get my energy back after the small refeed. And this is what it's about. It isn't always about fasting forever. It's about learning how to break, refeeding properly, and then going again. It's still a lot about giving yourself grace, learning to accept imperfection, picking yourself back up, and going again. Thank you for sharing with us, Deja. Babita says, hi, everyone. Day 2 of 3 of the 72-hour challenge. Congrats, Babita, on being 2 days in. Day 1 is always the most difficult day, pushing through now. Only one more day. There you go. Keep us posted tomorrow, Babita, on day number 3. I love that for you. Willis says, hey, all, broke my fast today at 67 hours and 4 minutes. Goal was 65 to 72 hours. Congrats, Willis. I'm sure it feels great. Enjoy your refeed. Let me know, what are you refeeding with today? Tommy says, what up, Professor J? I get the X-Men reference. I was wearing an X-Men shirt a couple days ago. Today is day 164 of my journey. Thank you for sharing how long you've been on this for, Tommy. I'm at my lowest, 308, and I feel great. Tommy, congrats on continuing to put the work in. Still a lot of BS going on, but your boy ain't tripping about that. I love that for you, Tommy. Tommy has shared a good amount with us over the last days, over the last few weeks. And I think as Tommy has shared with us on a regular basis, Tommy goes through the ups and downs, but is still making sure the path is where he needs it to go. And look, right, even with the ups and downs, Tommy's finding himself at his lowest weight now. I love that for you, Tommy. Continue sharing with us. Thanks for sharing. Huge win, right? To be at the lowest weight. I'm actually wondering how long it's been since you found yourself there. Happy Bunny says, hi, I haven't been able to keep to the fasting and eating window today. I was stressed trying to panic, pack and tidy my flat last minute, but I'm not beating myself up. Trying to enjoy my time right now. And that's what it's all about. Everyone's journey is going to have bumps in the road. Happy Bunny has been sharing with us for the last couple of days the struggle, but also realizes that Happy Bunny can't stop hitting a timer. It's still important to be aware. It's still important to work on other levers outside of just fasting. I also love that you're not beating yourself up. You're giving yourself grace. You've done so much good for yourself. And I know you're going to find that rhythm again. This is part of the journey. This is how we learn from the hard days, from the days that we struggle. Because if anybody's watching this and your immediate go-to on a bad day is to just throw away the day and walk away, and then a week passes by before you come back, you've literally just wasted 7 days instead of giving yourself the opportunity to learn on the hard days and pick yourself back up. Thank you for sharing with us, Happy Bunny. And you're right. Please try to enjoy your time. Cap Rising says, hey, everyone, I love reading how people are doing. Everyone's on their own journey, doing what they can. Exactly that. I'm 20 hours fasted today. I'm a little hungry, but have plenty to occupy me today. And how many people find themselves in the same way? Usually that first day for many people is difficult. To get through that first day is difficult. And what Cap Rising is talking about, occupying themselves, trying to find hacks to prolong your day. I mean, even for me, I'm currently, I think I'm only like 15 or 16 hours fasted. I refed last night. Today is not an eating day. Today's a very busy day for me. So food is on the very last thing that I'm even thinking about. It's not even something in my wheelhouse today. It's not anywhere. I haven't been thinking about food in the slightest. And sometimes being busy that way, being occupied, can be helpful in that regard. Thanks for sharing with us, Cap Rising. Ashna says, hi, Jerome. At what time do you usually refeed? I refeed in the evenings. I used to refeed super late. I used to refeed at like 8 or 9 p.m. a lot because for me, my goal was to, because I eat so much, because I was eating 6,000, 7,000 calories, in order for me to not eat more than that, I would eat super late on purpose so that I would be literally falling asleep. Now I break a little earlier, somewhere between maybe 5:30 and 6:30, sometimes a little later. It just depends. I have a lot more control in my calories today. Still not the best, but that's what I do. Does that mean you should eat super late at night? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean it's ideal either. I just do that because it's helpful for me. Adeline says, hi, everyone. I'm 63 hours fasted. Congrats, Adeline, so far. Doing black coffee and water. Ate 1 small olive. Currently, glucose level at 63, ketones 2.3, feeling energetic and motivated. I love that for you, Adeline. And I love that you've even shared that you had a small olive. Now, other people who might be new here or who might not be aware might read that and be like, but you ate an olive. You broke your fast. Listen, sometimes when you're working on a fast and you're prolonging your fast, people have to find what their journey looks like. Sometimes for me, I have a black iced coffee. Sometimes for me, I have an unsweetened iced tea. Sometimes for me, I have a 0-calorie drink like a Coke Zero or a Diet Dr. Pepper or a Sprite Zero or whatever it might be. Other people that I coach and work with, sometimes it's bone broth. Sometimes it's a little butter in their coffee, MCT oil in their coffee. Sometimes people will have a minimal amount of calories. Does that mean that they've failed? Does that mean that they're no longer? Listen, if the goal right now is to lose weight on the scale, if the goal right now is to learn how to fast and build your fasting muscle, use these small fasting hacks. Don't let somebody shame you or make you feel guilty because you didn't do it their way. Fuck their way. You have to figure out what works for you. You have to try different things. Does that mean you have to do that every time from now on? No, it doesn't. It means that you're aware of it, that you realize, hey, if I do this, this is helpful for me, and then you move on with your life. Do what works for you. Adeline, congrats on being 63 hours in. Keep us posted on your journey. I love that for you. Sorry, everyone. If you see me looking over here, I'm just scrolling down to read any other comments, people who might be sharing their journey. If I miss anything, please feel free to resend it. Elle says, hey, everyone, 51 hours into my 72-hour fast. Congrats, Elle. Looks like you're doing pretty good. I mean, you'll have to tell us. It sounds like you're doing good, though. Thanks for sharing, Elle. Hi, Tanisha. Nice to see you. Hi, Megan. Welcome. Thanks for being here today. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody saying hello to. Somebody just dropped a Finally Fasting Fam membership. Andrew just became part of the Finally Fasting Fam. Andrew, thank you so much for being part of the Finally Fasting Fam. I'm losing my words here. Anyone in chat who is part of the Finally Fasting Fam, can we throw some F's up for Andrew? Andrew, I mean, you even have this emoji now. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being part of the fam. I'm not sure which tier you joined, but either way, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Andrew. Welcome, welcome. I think I lost my place because of the super chat, but that's okay. Hopefully I didn't miss too much. I think I found my spot. Kabir says, I started fasting October 6th. I'm working on getting to 16 hours daily. Broke earlier today, haven't eaten super well today. Still going to start my timer after dinner. Thank you for sharing this with us, Kabir. I love that you are working on building your fasting muscle. Anybody watching this right now who might be new on their journey, look at what Kabir is sharing here. Started fasting October 6th, working up to 16 hours daily, not beating themselves up about not doing a 3-day fast, but learning to say, hey, I'm going to hit my timer. I'm going to fast. I'm going to go as long as I can. And then when it's time to break, I'm going to break, eat, hit my timer, and go again. Build, work on your fasting muscle. Thank you for sharing with us, Kabir. I love that for you. I can only imagine as you work on your journey, as you keep hitting your timer, where you go, how well you build that fasting muscle. Please keep us posted. Tech Over Tech says day 10 of their 4th 60-hour fast. Congrats, Tech Over Tech. Currently 42 hours fasted, had a rough refeed my last cycle, gained a bunch of weight, but pushed on and still continuing the grind. This is something really important to see here, to read here. How many of you have refed after a long fast or a prolonged fast and it wasn't the best refeed? And after that happened, you're like, well, I guess I'm just not going to do this anymore. You know what? I'm just going to eat again tomorrow and eat again tomorrow. But if you see Tech Over Tech, these moments when maybe you eat a little extra or your refeed isn't the best, it isn't time to give up. In fact, that's when you hit your timer and then take advantage of those calories. That's where you learn about, yeah, it wasn't the best refeed, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to practice imperfect consistency, right? I'm not going to be perfect in any way. I will never be perfect in any way, but I will always continue to put the effort in. And it looks like you're doing that. Still pushing on, still continuing the grind. Thank you for sharing with us Tech Over Tech. Thanks for sharing with us even the hard moments. Tommy with a $10 Canadian super chat. Tommy, I appreciate the support as always. It's nice to see you. Tommy says the same to me. Good to see you, Jerome. Today is a no carb day. I love that for you, Tommy. Keep us posted. Today is also a no carb day for me, but today is also a no food day for me. So obviously no carbs either. Tommy, thank you so much for the generous donation as always. I always love seeing you here. Thank you for your continuous support. Thank you again for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. Okay, gonna move down here. E Gunner says 36 hours in currently. Good luck to everyone. Keep on keeping on. E Gunner, congrats on 36 hours in. GYSD says, I'm late. Hi, everyone. I'm at 44 hours and 22 hours into my, or 44 hours and 22 minutes into my 72 hours, keeping you all in mind to get through. Congrats, GYSD. It's my first group fast and I like it. Miss Peaceful One, thank you again for putting this group fast out there. It looks like a lot of people joined. A lot of people are learning that they can do hard things. I mean, it's great. I love to see it. Thanks for sharing with us, GYSD. 10. Did I say that right? I went a little too loud there. 10. Welcome. Hello, fam. Greetings to my fellow champions. Rolling 72 is doing me good. I love that for you, 10. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If not, let me know. How long have you been doing 72s for? Keep us posted. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Thank you for sharing. Bill Plank says, why fasting over hitting macros each day? So when you say why fasting over hitting macros, do you mean why fast when you can just keep your calories at X amount and your protein at X amount every day? Why? Well, that depends on the person. Number one, because everyone is different. Number two, maybe right now, even for me at the very beginning of my journey, I was just trying to fast for a long period of time to continuously lose weight. If you're asking me now why I do ADF and why I'm not just eating every day, just keeping the calories in check, that's because it's hard for me to do. For me to keep my calories at around 2,300 every day, it's very hard. Right now, I'm keeping it somewhere between 3,200 and 3,400, sometimes a little higher. Sometimes I eat 6,000, 7,000 calories. Sometimes I eat more than that. Volume control is a very hard thing for me to do. So for me, it's different in that way. But for not just for me, but for a lot of people, sometimes we want to drop that weight quicker. Sometimes we just have the motivation to push a 2-day fast, a 3-day fast, a 5-day fast. So it's dependent on everyone. It's not that hitting macros each day wouldn't work. Keeping your calories in check every day wouldn't work, because it can, but there are also a lot of benefits to fasting for a longer period of time. Like I tell everyone, what matters the most is doing something sustainable and making sure that you are keeping good, healthy habits in check. Thanks for the question, Bill. Lucy says, hey, y'all, I'm 66 plus hours fasted. Congrats, Lucy. Lost 2.2 pounds, planning to continuously fast indefinitely. I want to keep this trend going. However, I can't stop thinking about bagels and cream cheese. I'm not hungry. Thank you all. I mean, it's normal to have those feelings. I mean, people who are in chat right now, if you have food on your mind, is it something similar to this? And remember, Lucy, even if you did break, it doesn't mean that it has to be bagels and cream cheese. It can always be something healthier than that. It can always be a better choice outside of something completely processed or not as good for you. Keep us posted, Lucy, but congrats on being 66 plus hours in. Y'all, with the donations today, L with a $10 super chat. L, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you as always. L says the community is making this 3-day fast a breeze for me. We got this. I love that for you. And listen to just what L said here as well. This is why working together, knowing that you're not alone, can be so helpful. How many of you are working on or participating in this 3-day fast and you haven't done anything like this before, or you realize this is so much easier when I'm being accountable. This is so much easier when I'm working together with a group of people. L, thank you for the $10 donation. Hopefully the rest of this 3-day fast just goes by in an instant. I was trying to find a better way to say that. Tech Over Tech with a $10 super chat as well. Y'all, thank you so much for the generous donations. Tech Over Tech with the $10 donation says, I'm finally starting to understand that even though the food gives comfort, it doesn't help me move towards my ultimate goal. I love that. I love that realization. This is a realization that can be very common sense for many of us. Many of us know this logically to be true, but sometimes we don't want to face that reality. So for you to share something like that is big. Being depressed of the temporary setback does more damage than just grinding. And this is why I always tell people, always be aware, always hit your timer, always just be aware of what you're doing. If you want to enjoy the weekend and you want to eat a couple of days in a row, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But you should be accountable for it. You should be aware of what you're doing. That's the importance of accountability. That's the importance of showing up. That's why I'm doing this every day. That's why I'm being as honest and as transparent as I can be, because I know even on the hard days, even on the days where I overeat, even on the days where I don't fast for as long as I should, I continue to remind myself that as long as I'm aware of what I'm doing, as long as I'm learning from my quote unquote mistakes, failing forward, right? Accepting imperfection, practicing imperfect consistency is how you learn and grow. Because if you're stuck in the all or nothing mindset and you're just doing the hardest thing all day, every day, and then when that doesn't go according to plan, you give up and then you're gone for a week or a month, or like me for 2+ years, you find yourself digging a deeper hole than you should have. And probably worse than that. Tech Over Tech, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And I think I lost my place. How many minutes am I in here? 33 minutes. I have 45 minutes until my next live stream. Okay, I think I'm okay right now. I'll try to read a couple more messages. Passing my way to Jen. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Melly Mel says, finally completed an ADF after struggling for over a week. Congrats, Melly Mel. Had a Sprite Zero last night. I was scared that a diet pop would trigger my appetite, but it actually worked to get me through yesterday. This is the importance of trying different things. It doesn't mean that you have to be stuck to it forever, but if something like that helps prolong your fast, it helps you stay in a caloric deficit, why not give it a shot? And now, Melly Mel, you have a tool that you can use. It doesn't mean you have to use it forever, but you know that you can try something now that can help build that fasting muscle. Melly Mel, congrats on completing your ADF. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing with us. I like that, E-Gunner. E-Gunner says, I watched Jerome's oldest video and he just fasted long enough without really focusing on keeping it clean. And that was the very beginning of my journey. When I first started doing what I was doing, I wasn't really thinking about keeping it clean in that way. One of the reasons that I fasted for 90 hours, and I try to repeat this message to people who try to imitate what I do, one of the reasons I fasted for that long was because I knew it had to take 4 days of fasting to eat the way I was eating at that time. That's what worked for me then. That's why when people want to do a 90-hour fast like me, I will always ask them, do you also plan to eat 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories? Because maybe you don't have to. Not that you can't. You can always push a 4-day fast, but don't attempt to eat 6,000, 7,000 calories if that's not something you typically do in a 3 or 4 hour time frame. So I love that you're able to share that and say, in that sense, eating can be without discipline if you show disciplined fasting. And actually, that's really well said, E-Gunner. That's exactly where my brain was at that time. Back then, I was like, all you got to do, Jerome, is fast for this long, and then you can eat what you want until you feel satiated, and then you can go again. Does it mean that's the perfect way of doing it? No, but it's something that worked for me back then. That's what taught me to tell myself, I don't need to listen to everyone else. I don't need to do what everyone is saying that I should be doing. Instead, I have to figure out what my journey looks like. And I have to do what works for me. I love that you shared that, E-Gunner. And for anyone who's ever wondering what my refeeds look like in the past, all you got to do is check that out. I wish I could have shown you what it looked like even prior to when I first started doing my refeeds, because before that, it was literally fast food place to fast food place to fast food place to going to the grocery store to pick up a pumpkin pie and eat at least half of it then. It's changed so much today. Okay, I'm going to read a couple more here, and then I am going to break into my nerd stats. Kabir says, hi, Jerome. Do you have any advice on what to eat and how much during the eating window, at least for 16/8? Kabir, the one thing that you probably have to think about is how many calories does your body currently burn in a day? And we don't have to get into the science of this, but for the average person, around 2,000 calories is what most people eat. If you're asking about what you should be eating, I'll just say keep it clean. What is clean? Clean foods, I like to tell people, are one ingredient foods. A banana is a banana. Meat is meat. Carrots are carrots. Brussels sprouts are Brussels sprouts. If you really think about it, meat, fruits, vegetables, I eat rice. People eat beans, lentils. Maybe just start there. Keep it clean there, right? Because a donut isn't just a donut. A candy bar isn't just a candy bar. And it's not that you can't eat those things, but if it's helpful, maybe watch some of my refeeds, maybe see how I eat one ingredient foods at the very beginning, and then I'll eat something a little processed towards the end. You don't have to eat that way. You can structure it the way you want. I just want you to enjoy what you're eating so that you can tell yourself, hey, I can do this for the long term. This feels good. In terms of your calories, it's not a perfect science. I take the time to learn what my TDEE is. You can go on Google and look for a TDEE calculator and see what yours is. And then you'll know how many calories you burn in a day. And sometimes it's just eating less than that. Whatever that amount might be, you can keep it at a very low deficit if that's helpful for you. But I'd say play around with it. It's going to take trial and error to figure it out. There are so many different ways to eat. I would say try things, see what works. If you feel too restricted and it's causing you then to overeat or binge, then it's time to change that and give yourself some grace. So I was going to say, please keep me posted. I would love to hear how your journey continues on. Okay, I think we're pretty good at this point. I actually was able to read down through most everything here. So we'll go ahead. We will break into nerd stats at this point. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. I am on day 724 of my journey. Has it been a perfect run? No. Does that mean I've been fasting perfectly for 724 days? No. Does it mean that I've been eating perfectly for 724 days for nearly 2 years? No. This is a combination of good days and bad days. But the one thing that I will continue to hammer down here is the importance of accountability, the importance of showing up for yourself every day, because this is how you learn. This is how you learn how to fast better. This is how you learn how to eat better. This is how you learn how to exercise better, to sleep better. This is how you learn to work on your journey. This is how you learn to give yourself grace, to accept imperfection, to practice imperfect consistency. In the last 98 days, I have been live streaming daily. Well, not 98, less than that. But in the last 98 days, I became very accountable with what I've been doing. More accountable than I've ever been. In the last 98 days, I have had a slew of different levels of fasting, some ADF, some longer, 90 plus hours, somewhere in between, like 65 hours. And then I've had some days where I've eaten under 3,000 calories, and then other days where I'm eating almost 8,000, almost 10,000. I've had days where I go on vacation and eat back-to-back days. But for me, even as I've been having a mix of good days and bad days, my weight continues to push itself down. I have now been finding myself steadily breaking into the 130s over and over and over, and hitting new lows in over a year, because I've just been showing up and being accountable and working on all of my weight loss levers. Not by fasting anymore for 4 days over and over and over, but by just doing something as simple as ADF. Fasting a lot less, having the opportunity to eat a lot more. I am currently working on my 6th round of ADF. Yesterday, I completed my 5th round. I am currently 16 and a half hours fasted, and I'm not eating at all today. Today is a non-negotiable day. I am not thinking about eating whatsoever. I will not. I pretty much run on automatic at this point. I also know that I have the opportunity to maybe break another new low tomorrow as I continue on this ADF. And whether I do or whether I don't has yet to be seen, but I'm not too concerned about the scale at this point. I just want to make sure that I continue to lose excess body fat and build muscle or retain muscle. Randall says, hello, Jerome and family. Hi, Randall. Nice to see you. Coming off of an ADF, refeed up 2 pounds, push my timer for another one. Congrats on keeping it consistent. I love that for you. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing what that looks like. When people gain weight after a refeed, yeah, we'll push up weight on the scale. I push up weight on the scale, but I know it's not going to be long lasting, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Trishelle, am I saying that correctly? Trishelle says, I'm on GLP. What advice would you give me? What advice would you give to help me come off of it? So this is where good habits come into play. This is where I talk about maintaining and learning how to build good, healthy habits and breaking bad, toxic habits. Sometimes I coach people who are on GLP-1. I've coached people who are now off on GLP-1. I've coached people who will sometimes get on it and off of it. And I've coached a number of people who have worked with it, who have been off of it, who like it, who don't like it. But the one thing will always remain. You have to fix your habits. If you are somebody that is an emotional eater, you have to fix that habit. If you eat out of boredom, out of comfort, out of stress, out of emotion, right? You have to break that habit. You have to work on things outside of just fasting or eating a certain way. You have to learn how to build better habits. If it means that you want to build your fasting muscle, learn to give yourself time away from food. If you want to learn how to eat better, you have to put the effort into it. Remember that exercise is a part of health and wellness. Strength training, cardio, your sleep, all of these things play a factor. When you want to talk about getting off GLP, if you don't want to be on it, you have to think about what your good habits look like and what your bad habits look like. I'm not saying it's common sense for everyone, but I think most of us know what good, healthy habits look like. If you fast and eat 0 calories or take in no calories for the day, you will obviously lose weight. You'll obviously lose body fat. If you learn how to eat clean, eat healthy, not eat so much processed or ultra processed foods, that's a good, healthy habit to work on. Exercise the same way. Walking is good for your cardio health. Strength training is good to retain muscle, to build muscle. Getting good sleep every night is a way to help with weight loss. All of these things are super important. The mental part, learning how to deal with emotional eating, all of these things make a difference. And you know what? Learning about what your current situation is and how you deal with a lot of these things can help you eventually get off of GLP-1. I hope that makes sense. I think this is a longer conversation. I think this is something that takes a little more of a deeper talk because I don't know you and I don't know what your habits look like, but hopefully that's a good foundation to start off of. Thanks for the question, Trishelle. E. Gunner, oh my goodness. E. Gunner just donated 10 Finally Fasting Fam memberships. E. Gunner, thank you for the huge donation. For anybody who just got gifted a donation from E. Gunner, please thank E. Gunner in the chat. Can we throw some F's up for E. Gunner? If you are a new member of the Finally Fasting Fam, you should have this emoji to throw up. E. Gunner, thank you for the huge donation. Thank you for the support. Thank you for gifting that donation to people who've never had it before. Again, please thank E. Gunner for the donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I lost my place now. Where was I at? So yesterday was my refeed. Yesterday, I finished my 5th round of ADF, I believe. I think I'm working on my 6th round at this moment. That's right, peace to all. 3 cheers for E. Gunner. Judy, hi, nice to see you. So I refed yesterday. My goal yesterday was to keep the calories under 3,000, to keep the protein above 190. That was my goal. Was I able to achieve that? Well, I'll tell you right now, I didn't, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. And I'll share with you what my refeed looked like yesterday. Now, like I've done in the past refeeds, I'm just going to show you screenshots because I took video that I'm going to make a video for. but I want to at least share with you what I broke with yesterday and what the calories were and what the protein was so that I'm transparent about what I had. So yesterday I broke, this is going to be very similar to some of my past refeeds, but I broke yesterday with cottage cheese while all my other food was cooking. I did add everything but the bagel seasoning on this. It's such a great combination. I had this last time, so I had it again. I ate like 350 grams of cottage cheese, so a very big amount of that. Afterwards, I had a pound of Brussels sprouts, or a pound plus of Brussels sprouts. Nothing surprising. I think many of you know that I eat this every refeed, again, about a pound. Afterwards, this screenshot is showing you what a small bowl looks like and what a big bowl looks like. Excuse me. This is a gigantic bowl of white rice, corn, stewed tomatoes, mushrooms, garlic, and 5 turkey sausages. This is a gigantic bowl. And yes, I ate that entire bowl. Afterwards, I had a banana. I was just goofing around. I feel pretty goofy right now in a lot of my videos, but you'll see that. I had a banana after that, and after that, I actually had an entire sleeve of these butter cookies. I am no longer hiding it at this point. Yes, are butter cookies the best thing to eat? Are they the healthiest thing to eat? No, they're not. But I enjoy them. It's a good way to eat something different. And yes, I ate an entire sleeve. I'm not feeling bad about it. I'm not feeling guilty about it, because you know what? My last refeed, I had them. The refeed before that, I've had them, and I'm still losing weight on the scale. I'm still hitting my goals. After that, or I ate them at the same time, I had pudding. This is actually pistachio, sugar-free pistachio pudding, which I'm so glad I tried this, because I think I was just getting sick of my protein powder and my vanilla or cheesecake pudding, that this pistachio one was so good. So I'm on a fix of that right now. And that was actually the end of my refeed. But an hour later, I ended up eating one more banana, and I had another protein bar. My hair was all messed up at this point. I didn't care. I was just like, I just need to film that I'm eating this so people see it for transparency. And that was my refeed yesterday. You'll see all of this on video in the near future. I'm like 3 refeed videos behind now, so I'm going to try to put a new refeed video out today, which is from 3 refeeds ago now, but I got to catch up is what I'm saying. So yesterday, that's not the right slide. Here we go. If you look at my refeed, my last 10 refeeds, if you look at yesterday's at the very bottom, my calorie count was 3,400 calories. So I was 400 calories over, not the worst thing in the world. If you look at my last 4, they're usually averaging around the same, which it feels like I found a happy medium. I know I want to keep it under 3,000, but I'm pretty good, feeling pretty good at around this level. 8 over 200 grams of protein. Where did that put me on the scale? Oh, well, we're not at the scale point yet. I'll get to that. Over my last 47 refeeds, I've now kept my refeed time around 4.5 hours. My calories per refeed are a little under 4,000, average protein per refeed right at a little over 200. If you see what my weight was after eating all of that yesterday, all of that food yesterday, the 3,400 calories or so, it put me up 4 pounds today. This morning I weighed in at 142.2, but what's amazing to me is this weight is so much lower after a refeed day. If you look at what my weight was prior, 147, 147, 144, that 142 is a little different. Those were back-to-back eating days, 146, 146, 145. And now that number is starting to push itself down. because I trust the process. The process works. Did I gain 4 pounds of fat after that refeed? No, I didn't even eat 3,500 calories. If I was truly gaining 4 pounds of fat, I would have had to eat 4 times the amount. I would have had to eat 14,000 calories, if not more, to accommodate for my TDEE for that day. So it's not 4 pounds of fat. That's also water weight, waste, the food in my system. How do I know that? Because even if you look at what's highlighted in green, after a 24 plus hour fast, I'll drop anywhere between 4 and 6 pounds. And if you look at my 4 last fasted weights, I've been breaking into the 130s every single time. And that number is starting to go lower and lower and lower. And so that was my refeed yesterday. That's what my weight was at yesterday. If you look at this slide, this is more than just fasting. I have, for the last 98 days now, been on a daily step average of over 15,000 steps. Yesterday's step count was right around that average at 15,298. I am way above goal there. Strength training wise, I lift weights every morning after a refeed. And that's exactly what I did today. I ate all of that food yesterday. This morning, I got up, went to the bathroom, stepped on the scale, took a 45-minute walk, went to the gym, lifted heavy, because why wouldn't I? Why not take advantage of those calories that I've eaten? I had a really good lift, walked 45 minutes back, got ready for work. Keeping myself in check every day, showing up every single day. Why? Because every day matters. I'm not going to just throw away the day, have 3 days of not being aware, and then digging myself a bigger hole. This is why the results keep showing, because I keep showing up for myself day after day after day. I do abide by an 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I do what I should be doing. 80% of the time I'm keeping my calories in check, or I'm fasting, or I'm getting my steps in, or I'm lifting weights at the gym. In the last 98 days, I have had 80% days. The majority of the time I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And yes, I have 20% days. What does that mean? That means that on these 20% days, I am not keeping my calories in check. I'm usually going out with friends. I'm at a party. I'm on vacation. I'm eating a lot more than I typically do. If you look at that calorie average on my 20% days, that's nearly 6,000 calories. But look at how often that happens. 14 times over the last 98 days. I'm not even doing 80-20 right now. This is currently 86-14. What I'm trying to show you is I have 20% days because those are days where I don't have to feel guilty about going out with friends, going to a wedding, going on vacation. These days are accounted for because it's part of my 80-20 plan. Does that mean that you have to have an 80-20 plan? No, it doesn't. You don't have to abide by an 80-20 rule. It can be a 90-10 rule. It can be a 65-35 rule. You don't even have to have that at all. This is just a tool that I use that's helpful for me. It gives me mental relief on specific days like that. So my goal for the month of October, and we're almost done with the month. October went by so fast, everyone. My goal for the month of October was not to fast for a certain amount of time, even though I do fast. My goal for October was not to hit a certain number on the scale, even though that number is still trending down. My goal for the month of October was just to put myself at a big enough caloric deficit to lose 3 pounds of body fat, to be in a deficit of at least 10,500 calories. If you look at this chart for the first week of October, anything highlighted in green meant that I was above my caloric deficit pace. That pace means that every day I just added 339 calories to be in a deficit. Anything highlighted in yellow means I was off of my pace. This is also why I say every day is important, because every day that deficit increases. So every day I got to be putting work in. By week number 2, 5 of those days I was on pace. Yes, there are going to be some days I'm off of pace, but that's okay because I show up and I go again. By week number 3, the same. 5 of those days I was on pace. And if we're looking at week number 4, which is right now or yesterday, I finished week number 4 for the month of October. 6 days in a row, I was on pace. If you see what's highlighted in blue, I was already above my caloric deficit. I already hit my goal, but I can't stop because every day that pace continues. And of course, I ate yesterday. So now that deficit isn't where I need to be. So I need to keep pushing forward. This is why every day matters on your journey. That's why it matters for my journey. You don't have to do it the way I do. You can have your own goals. You can set up your own deficit. You don't even have to work off of a deficit if you don't want to. For me, I really love the nerd stats. I like to, in a lot of ways, when I show those stats, it's because I look at it as a game. I kind of gamify it in a way. For me, it makes it a little more interesting. When I share these nerd stats, it's not because I find it daunting to do. I share those nerd stats because I love doing it. It's a way to keep me entertained. It's a way for me to look at it like, oh, this is a challenge and I need to be accountable. I need to show up. You don't have to be as nerdy as I am with it, but if it's helpful for you, feel free to do that. Okay, I have 20 minutes. I don't know why I did the 20. I have 20 minutes before my next coaching call. So with all of that being said, it's time to do fit check. What is fit check? Fit check's when I stand back there and it's when I show you what I look like physically. Why do I do that? Because it's accountability for me. For me, even though I'm up right now 4 pounds, even though I feel bloated right now, I'm going to stand back there. I'm going to show you what I look like because I know that accountability is important. I know that old Jerome, if I had gained 4, 6, 8 pounds after a refeed, sometimes old Jerome, who wasn't being accountable, would say, well, I already ate like shit yesterday. I might as well eat shitty again today. Because you know what? No one's going to know. I don't have to be accountable. You know what? It's cold outside right now. This hoodie is covering everything. No one can see how much weight I've gained in this hoodie. I don't do that anymore. I understand the importance of accountability, and that's why I do fit check and stand back here every day now for the last 90 some days. So before I do stand back there, just to give you all a refresher, you know what's coming. I've been overweight my entire life. I see some people throwing the fit check emoji up there. I have been overweight even as a child, as an adolescent, in my teenage years, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. Not only have I been overweight, but I have been obese and morbidly obese. I have weighed as heavy as 235 pounds, and that's coming off of someone who's only 5'3". I was wearing a size 38 waist. I was wearing double XL shirts to cover my belly. And for someone who's 5'3", if I was to wear that double XL shirt today, that shirt would go down to my knees because I don't have that belly anymore. I still have a belly, but just not like that anymore. Now, I share all those pictures so that you understand that I didn't just gain this weight recently. I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese my entire life. And I have lost that weight and kept it off now for almost 2 years naturally, not through medication, not through injections. I've never had Ozempic or any type of GLP-1. I've never had weight loss surgery. I've done this through fasting and working on my good, healthy habits and breaking my bad, toxic ones. Now, I also say this as someone who's 44 years old, who has been able to lose that weight in his 40s and keep it off since. If you are around my age, if you're younger than me, if you're even older than me, and you think that you've lost, or you feel like you've lost all hope, that there's no other recourse, maybe all that you need is to work on your habits, is to be accountable, is to show up for yourself every day. Maybe that's what it takes. And I'm not saying that you should go off your medication. I'm not saying that GLP-1 isn't right for you. I'm not saying that weight loss surgery isn't right for you. You do you. You need to do what you think is best, what you know is best. I just say that for anybody who might be in a place where they think that they have no other recourse except for X, Y, and Z. And I'm telling you, maybe what you need right now is to just work on your habits and being accountable. So let's go ahead. We'll do fit check. Hi, Shauna. Nice to see you. I am currently 4 pounds up in weight, but what's really interesting is even though I'm 4 pounds up in weight, I can still wear boys shirts now. Before I couldn't. This is a boys extra large that I'm wearing right now. These are one of my smaller shirts. Juan, I just see a $10 donation there. Juan, thank you. Juan, I'll give you a proper shout out after this fit check. So I'm currently wearing a boys extra large shirt. These pants are boys. I don't remember what size, but they're boys pants. Why do I wear boys clothes? Because number one, I only weigh 140, 130 something. But number two, I'm short. I'm only 5'3". And so I get the benefit of wearing boys clothes and buying clothes for cheap. So we'll go ahead and do fit check. Okay. Like I said, I'm currently up 4 pounds, but I can still wear these smaller clothes, which is great. Is this the right? There we go. Okay. So front shot right here. Side, right? Rear, side. Like I said, I am feeling a little bit bloated right now. I am wearing a compression shirt. Yes, I have loose skin. You can see I feel like the majority of my weight is, or the majority of my excess body fat is here on my belly and I mean, that's just the reality of where I'm at. Yes, I do have loose skin. I talk about this all the time. I might not talk about it today because I know we're already running out of time here and I have a coaching session in a bit. But that's pretty much fit check. Before I continue, Juan with a $10 super chat. Juan, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate the generous donation. Juan, you didn't even say anything. Why didn't you say anything, Juan? Juan, say something. No, I appreciate the support. It means a lot to me, Juan. Thank you for the $10 donation. If you do, or if you meant to say something, you can say it now and I'll throw it up here. So thank you so much, Juan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, at this time, and I know there are other people, Juan says, hello from San Marcos, Texas. Hi, Juan. Thank you for the donation. Hopefully everything, I was going to say, hopefully everything's good. I was going to say more, hopefully the weather's good there. I could probably use some warmer weather than what we're getting right now in Chicago, but Juan, thank you again for the $10 donation. All right, everyone, we're going to do Q&A. I don't have a lot of time to do Q&A, but I will try to answer any questions that any of you might have. If there's something that you wanted to say specifically, please feel free to say it now. I'll try to throw up anything that I can with the time that I have. In the meantime, while you might be asking questions, if any of you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or you're looking for an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. Yes, I do work as an accountability coach, but I like to tell people that really we're in this together. I'm your partner. We're partners in this. If you are looking for that missing piece, if you want to put a game plan and a strategy down, you could check out finallyfasting.com. We can work together. I can help you get to where you need to be. That is my only goal when I work with anyone. But a lot of that is going to require you to show up. I don't need you to do 7-day fasts all day, every day. I don't need you to eat perfectly all day, every day. All I'm asking for when I talk about this is for you to just show up. Maybe you'll learn about yourself, realize that a lot of this is just you working on your habits. Finallyfasting.com if you're interested in that. Also, for anybody that wants to support in an additional way, like eGunner donated earlier today, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. eGunner gifted 10 memberships today. What does that mean? It's a YouTube membership. Anybody who's a member will get green in their name. You probably see it there in chat. You get to use custom emoji like this one over here. You saw people throwing up the fit check emoji. You will get your name on the intros of the live streams, which reminds me, I have to update that. And it's just a way to support. So if you are wanting to do that, if you want to support me in that way, you can hit the join button on my YouTube channel, or you can click the link in the description of this live stream. I think that link will get you there if you want to help support in that way. So, okay, we have about 10 minutes. I'll try to read or answer any questions that some of you might have. Juan says, you've encouraged me, brother. Thank you. You're very welcome, Juan. I appreciate the support. I hope you continue to show up and be here and keep us posted on your progress. I think you might have shared that earlier, and I know I was talking because I didn't have time to get to everyone, but Juan, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Sarah from Facebook says, hi, Jerome. Thank you for showing up for yourself and us. You're very welcome, Sarah. I want to give you an update on my fasting. I'm at 50 hours. Congrats, Sarah. I'm drinking the clove tea. It's been keeping me from cravings. And see, like I said, sometimes it's something as small as tea or coffee or a 0-calorie drink. Does it mean that you have to do it forever? No. But if it's helpful and you're able to find success doing it, why not do it? Don't listen to everyone saying you have to only fast this way. There's nothing better than, sure, if you want to do that clean that way, that's fine. But if you're not ready for that right now, there's nothing wrong with trying something and experimenting with that. I'm so excited that this is helping me fast longer. I love that for you, Sarah. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes we have to find hacks. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't let other people make you feel guilty about it because you're not doing it their way or the right way. Listen, you have to do what works for you. I love that for you, Sarah. Thank you so much. When I look for the question, I try to find Margaret's and Aisha's together, and I found them. Margaret says, what time are you live streaming tomorrow? Aisha asks the same. What time do you plan on live streaming tomorrow? So let me check my calendar for tomorrow. Yes, I do these daily, everyone. I will not be doing them daily forever, but I will try to do them more frequently in the future. My goal, just so you all know, is to do, and this is inspired by Eric, but I want to do these for 100 days in a row. I don't know what day I'm at right now. I think I have maybe 6 more days to do them in a row, or 5 more. I'm going to do 100 days in a row, and then I'm going to take a day off. And then after that, I'm going to stagger how I'm going to be doing live streams, but I'll try to do them as regularly as I can because there's a lot of changes coming. Like I said, I'm moving out of the country. So even with that, I'm going to be on a flight for 20 plus hours. So, you know, on that day, for sure, I won't be live streaming. Okay, so tomorrow depends. I would say anywhere as early as 1 p.m. or I would say anywhere between 1 and 1:30 p.m. Let's just keep it there. 1 and 1:30 p.m., kind of like what we have today. So thank you for the question, Margaret and Aisha. This is a different question. Tanya says, tell us about your tattoos. I can maybe quickly tell you about it. This arm here, these are like this here, this is the Chicago flag. This, like, I'm very inspired by street art. I have a lot of, when I work as a professional photographer, and when I started being a photographer, I took a lot of graffiti art or murals around Chicago. And then I started doing it in New York. And then actually doing something like that led me to do a gig with Wow. I'm under an NDA. I can't say what brands I've worked with, but I've done brands doing that. And so this is obviously like graffiti-esque type art, but these are neighborhoods in Chicago that I've lived in. This is actually, I can't see that there. That's the CTA train. But these are neighborhoods in Chicago I've lived in or I've had memories in or where I grew up in. And so that's pretty much my Chicago arm. This is a tattoo of MF Doom. He's one of my favorite rappers. This is obviously a microphone. I actually don't care for this one. I would maybe love to redo or do something different on that. But any of you who are from the Bay Area, that's Hieroglyphics. That's another hip hop group from the 90s. I'm a very 90s hip hop guy. So there you go. That's my, I think people have asked that before, but I don't think I've ever extensively gotten into that. So anyway, thank you for the question, Tanya. Juan is down 37 pounds down, 2.5 months of alternate day. That's awesome. And again, a really good example of not having to fast for a super long time, but still finding progress. I've been watching you every morning on the walk to work. It's encouraging. Juan, I love to hear that. I love the success for you. I love that you've learned so much, and I look forward to hearing about your journey as the days go on. Congrats on losing all that weight, doing ADF. I love that for you. Congrats. Lanatana says, hey, y'all, just completed a 42-hour fast. Congrats, Lanatana, on your 42. I felt good accomplishing that after the excesses of the last week, conferences and events. I love that you were able to get back onto it and push forward. Thank you for sharing with us, Lanatana. Maggie May also says, just over 49 hours into my 72. Congrats, Maggie May. Congrats. Let me see here. How much time do I have? I have 4 minutes. So I think we're almost up to everything here. I see Deja says, I was also wondering about your tattoos. Hopefully that's helpful. Hey, Sleck, how's it going? Sleck says, I'm 39 hours. I feel confident I can complete 72. Congrats, Sleck. Even though I've been struggling with ADF, it helps to do this with people. Again, this is the power of community. This is the power of knowing you're not alone. So I love that for you, Slack. Congrats on being 39 hours in. Lori says, Jerome, have you listened to Out My Nephew? George Reagan's rock rap band. Oh, is this your nephew, Lori? I'll check it out. Hollywood Undead. I haven't heard, but I'll check it out. Thanks for the recommendation. Okay. I think that's everything that I had to share for the day. Today is, again, a complete fasting day for me. I'm pushing another round of ADF. Tomorrow, I hope I break back into the 130s. If I don't, that doesn't mean that I give up. It doesn't mean that I start over. It doesn't mean that I binge. Hopefully, those things don't happen. I say hopefully because I know that there's always a part of me that might be in that state. But I also know that no matter what happens, I will continue pushing forward on my journey. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for your support as always. Thank you for being so kind and supportive to everyone as well. I do want to point out how important that is to me. It means so much to me to see people be kind and supportive to everyone here. So thank you for that. To Andrew, thank you for being a new member of the Finally Fasting fam. To E. Gunner for gifting 10 Finally Fam memberships. E. Gunner, thank you for the huge support. To Tommy, to L, to Tech Over Tech, and to Juan, and to, Letty just threw that out there, but I'll read Letty's in a minute. To Tommy, to L, to Tech Over Tech, and to Juan, thank you for the generous donations today. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the additional support as always. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam who support me in that way. And thank you to all my regulars who are here every day. And like I said, who are kind and supportive to everyone. I really appreciate this community. Sometimes I can't believe how big it's grown and how well we work together. A quick reminder to my Autophagy live stream members, we are live streaming tonight at 5 p.m. So hopefully I'll see you tonight at 5 p.m. Central. And then to Letty with a $2 donation, we will miss you on day 101. I'll miss you all too, but I think it's a well-deserved day off after going these many days in a row. Letty, thank you for the $2 donation. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Skippy, I see you in there. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, so I'll say hi to you now. And I think that's all I got. So I have to jump on a call in less than a minute or in about a minute. So I'm going to do my obligatory wave. We will do this all again tomorrow. Will you show up? Will you be accountable? I hope so. All right. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.